the founding of this group is something that we're excited about, even though we're in the throes of what it takes. And all we did was we said, could we, as grassroots people, flip enough districts to take back the House without depending on any other state and just do the work right here in our own home state of California? And I want to give you a sneak peek that Tom, who is a graphic facilitator, this is his drawing of how things felt for us last year. The person down there at the bottom of your screen is somebody like me. I kept going when Indivisible Sonoma County, which Tom and Larry and others had up, they kept holding interviews with the candidates, the midterm candidates for the House. And every time I went, I thought, oh, wow. These people are so much stronger and so much better than I knew, and also certainly than the Republican candidates we're seeing. And everybody should be seeing these. And they asked for money, and it was easy to give money because they had very compelling stories. But in spite of those great interviews, you know what happened. We lost the House. And so then we did some candidate conversations that finally led to creating um, the the alliance questions was simply, what can we do better? And so we privately talked to the candidates to see, and what did you need that you didn't have last time that you or someone like you might need next time? And by the way, I want to let you know that this information is on our website on the About page. So, once again, you don't have to be able to read any of this. So, we especially heard start earlier. We heard about delays that drove us nuts when we heard about it. Form stronger connections, figure out what the gaps are, and fill them. All right, we understood that. The other thing we understood is that the grassroots lane, the people who are in the grassroots, not the party lane, not the candidate lane, not the national lane, but the grassroots lane, and you know that we have our own special place, and it's the grassroots power that has been turning elections and can. So we said, okay, we got to tap that power again. Why is there grassroots power? Because we are on the ground. We have direct voter contact. We hear what people are saying at those doors and on those phone banks and in those text banks all the time. And that's useful. But of course, the other thing we need to be is not just on the ground, but in the air, so to speak. We need that overview. And one of the things that we saw was lots of siloing and isolation going on between the different districts. And so we wanted to create an opportunity for an overview. So for sure, we said, we don't want to create another org. Nobody needs more orgs. Would you like more email? I wouldn't. But what we do need is a network. So we formed an alliance, this network where we think that working in unison is going to allow us to do something different than what happened last time. So we did the analysis. We took a look at the 10 districts that looked the most vulnerable to possibly flipping. We did deep analysis. We have Larry Martin on our team. If you're California Indivisible, you know the legend of Larry Martin and his analytics. We also had Lori Friedman taking a look at it. And their conclusion was very firm that there are 6 purple districts in California, in spite of the fact that California is famous for being blue. And of course, it has a few GOP districts, but 6 districts are purple, and we have to take all of them to win back the House. So essentially, this is our theme. The road to the House majority runs through California, and we need to do our part. These are the 6 districts. As you know, we're hosting interviews with the candidates for all of them. Half the people in half of these districts got redistricted into them sometime in 2021, pretty late in 2021, and don't even know that they're in a new district. And that's one of the things that we grassroots people found out from all our canvassing before the midterms. People would say, what? That's my congressperson? I thought this other person was my congressperson. So we realized we've got to really be organized about how we're going to sweep these. And how do we want to be organized? Well, first, we want to center the volunteers. Other organizations are going to center the candidate, but we want to center the volunteers. We want to be strategic. We want to be non redundant. Volunteers go nuts when they see that they're doing something redundant. And we want to be bottom up. There's enough top down going on in the world of congressional campaigning. We want to be bottom up. The other thing we want to do is combine the on the ground intel that we know we can gather as grassroots people with that overview because we want to assure the best and highest use of what the volunteers have to give. So here's our promise statement. It's a two long sentences, and I'm going to read them aloud. The California Grassroots Alliance is the statewide network connecting independent progressive groups organizing to sweep 6 purple districts and take back the House majority in 2024. By attracting volunteers from both blue and red regions, equipping them with potent tools and evidence based practices, and targeting their efforts toward the winnable seats, the Alliance helps assure the best and highest use of grassroots activists' time, talent, and funds on the path to victory. So, as you know, we are having these Meet the Candidate events, but I want to point you to the place on our website where if you click on Take Action, pretty soon you're going to be able to find volunteer signups for canvassing and phone banking and postcarding and text banking and other things, tabling, etc. And what we're doing is we're not trying to replace anybody. What we're doing is we want to amplify the people like the wonderful Bay Area Coalition in the northern part of our state that are already doing terrific events and already out there registering voters and canvassing and things like that. So we'll do a few of our own things like these Zoom events, but mostly what we're trying to do is to pour blue energy into places that need it so that we can assure that we take back the House. So now Tom Bentham is going to tell us a little more about our roadmap. Tom?
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Patty. So you saw this beginning and Patty talked you through it. And I'm going to take you a little bit along the journey that we're anticipating, we're planning for right now, which is we're right here at the beginning of November on our Meet the Candidate series that you probably signed up for. The work that we've got right now to do is to build capacity in our network, to build capacity for on-the-ground groups, to see if we can raise more money for the on-the-ground groups. Now is a critical time to invest and to kind of recharge our stores. And then what we really want to do from that is to continue by registering voters and make that a prime focus as we move forward into December and into January. On the narrative side of things, we want to be defining the opposition at this point. We want to be doing research, framing them and creating stories about them, and then getting that news out. And as Patty mentioned, we will be providing support tools and resources, not just that we create, but linking to support tools and resources from partners all around the state, looking to provide district insight and importantly, helping to help us track progress as we move forward. That should take us through December. And as we get into the new year, we will have a formal kickoff for the California Grassroots Alliance. And that will be probably about half a month, maybe a little bit more, before voting begins. And at that point, for the primaries, we're going to be working hard to turn out our base. We will, as the primary continues, work on getting out the vote. And the primary, of course, the voting begins on February 6th. The primary is on March 5th. We do have folks who say, well, you know, it's a presidential year, and a lot of folks are not going to be that enthusiastic about the primary. They're going to be really excited about the general. Why don't we just not worry too much about it? We'll get going later. Our take on this is no, the urge to vote is something we should be cultivating in voters now. We should get as big a turnout as we can in the primary. And also it gives us kind of a not really a trial run, but a first run at doing the work of making sure that we've got many more voters registered that we're contacting them and that we're getting them out to vote.
There are 6 districts we need to sweep. Please go to our website and sign up, join, donate. We need you, and thank you.